Hello Capricorn, welcome to my channel. It is an absolute pleasure to be here with you, so thank you so very much for being here with me for your October 2023 Tarotscope. In the description box below, you will find links to all sorts of goodies, including my social media, information on personal readings, and donations if you would like to explore those options. You will also find a timestamp if you would like to jump to the start of your reading. I would like to start off by apologizing for the delay in getting this reading to you. I took a vacation in the middle of October, and when I returned, I got very sick and then had trouble with my sciatica, and so that brought me to the beginning of November. But I did not want to leave you hanging with nothing for October. So we are going to be kind of time traveling, if you will, going back and taking a look at what took place for you. So October was a universal 8-month, and it brought through this energy of renewal and a reminder that all things in life are connected to the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. We were asked to focus on universal connectedness and collective humanity. October also brought self-empowerment vibes that pulled us toward expansion, growth, and divine compassion. So we are going to be looking at the overall energy of October 2023 for you, what has come to an end, what has been reborn, renewed, or began for you last month, and getting some wisdom that would best support your healing, growth, and evolution given all of the things that came through for you. Please do keep in mind that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading, so only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Let's dive in and see what happened or unfolded in October for you. Please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, tell us about the overall energy of October 2023 for Capricorn, please. Okay, thank you. Tell us about what came to an end. Thank you. Tell us about what was reborn, renewed, or began for Capricorn last month, please. October 2023. Okay, thank you. Tell us, please, what wisdom will best support Capricorn? Thank you. We do have a lot of cards that we are working with, so I do appreciate your patience. Tell us more, please, about the overall energy of October 2023 for Capricorn. Okay, thank you. Tell us about what came to an end for Capricorn last month. I get those, interestingly. Tell us about what was reborn, renewed, or began for Capricorn last month, October 2023, please. Tell us about what was reborn, renewed, or began for Capricorn last month, October 2023, please. Okay, wow, thank you. Tell us about the wisdom that will best support Capricorn in their healing, growth, and evolution. What else do we need to know, please, based on what came through for them last month? Okay, thank you. What else do we need to know, please, about the overall energy for Capricorn last month, October 2023, please? Okay. Tell us, what else do we need to know about what came to an end for Capricorn last month, October 2023? This one here, thank you. Tell us more, please. What else do we need to know about what was reborn, renewed, or began for Capricorn last month, October 2023? Tell us, please, more about what was reborn, renewed, or began for Capricorn last month, October 2023. one too. Thank you. Tell us more, please. What else do we need to know about the wisdom that would best support Capricorn in their healing? All right, thank you. And anything we may have missed or need to know about the overall energy of October 2023 for Capricorn. Anything we need to know or may have missed, please, about the overall energy for Capricorn last month, October 2023. Okay. Anything we need to know or may have missed, please, about what came to an end for Capricorn last month, October 2023. Anything we need to know or may have missed, please. Anything we need to know or may have missed about what came to an end for Capricorn last month, October 2023, please. Oh, good golly. Let's try that again. Nice, clear message, please. Anything we need to know or may have missed. There we are. Thank you. Anything we need to know or may have missed about what was reborn. Thank you. And anything we need to know or may have missed in regards to, there we are. Thank you. Okay. All right, Capricorn. So let's take a look at the overall energy for last month. You did have here the crumbling. What are you clinging onto? So I feel as though last month, or in October 2023, depending on when you're watching this, of course, I feel as though last month there were things that took place which really were kind of like what I would call tower moments. These things were meant to create for you foundational shifts. They were meant to bring things to your attention, to provide for you an opportunity to see things more clearly. It feels as though you could have felt as if there was a lot of turbulence or chaos that took place for you last month. It feels as though there could have been some things that were more, how would we say, prominent, if you will, than others. But it does feel as though there may have been several things taking place, you know, for some of you and maybe not for others, but several things taking place which were really kind of creating this almost scattered or overwhelmed kind of feeling. Again, I feel like these things came through for you so that you could create foundational shifts, so that you could break through a particular cycle. It feels like there could have been things repeating for you. And those things I feel were meant to be showing you that there's a need to do things differently. There's a need to change your tactic or strategy. There's a need to reanalyze or address certain things in your experience. And this is likely something or several things that you were clinging to. You may have struggled to move on from certain things, to move away from certain things, to release certain things, or to let certain things go. And I feel as though, again, these were brought to your attention to kind of, in some ways, for some of you, to get the ball rolling, so that you could, again, see things very clearly, maybe challenge some outdated belief systems or stories, or for others of you, I feel like it was meant to really kind of, if I'm going to be frank, slap you in the face with truth. All right. And as you can see here in the card, there's like all this storm taking place, this chaos, right? But in the middle of the card, there's this beautiful, beautiful landscape. And so, you know, I feel like these things that you may have had come up for you were likely things that have created chaos in your experience. And I know that's going to sound a bit repetitive, but I feel as though, how do I say this? For some of you, this could have involved other people or certain situations or experiences that were, again, creating this kind of loop, right? And almost like being caught in a storm. And the things that were being shown to you, I feel were meant to be released so that you can move to a place of more peace or a place of serenity. You also have for October the Five of Cups. Okay, so I really feel as though, okay, you may have found yourself a bit disappointed with October. I'm just going to be real. For some of you, I feel as though because we're dealing with cups here, I feel as though for some of you, this could have something to do with certain relationships or emotions and feelings, where you felt as though maybe you let yourself down, or someone else let you down, or a situation let you down, or it didn't go the way you had hoped. I actually just heard things took a turn for the worst. So that may be relevant for someone specific. But, the Five of Cups is this energy of loss, disappointment, bereavement, grief, these sorts of things. And so it really does feel to me that however these things unfolded for you last month, it may have felt a bit heavy. It may have felt like, gosh, I really wish I wasn't going through this right now. But again, what I feel is important to understand here is that these things have happened for you. I know that that may be hard to see, but it has happened for you because, again, the whole point of us being here is to evolve. The whole point of us being here is to learn. The whole point of us being here is to grow. And unfortunately, that is not always possible without experiencing certain pain points. It's not always possible without experiencing certain disappointments or losses. And so, again, with this crumbling energy being very much to me or speaking very much to me like the Tower, I feel as though these things were brought about for you to move forward from them, right? Any upheaval you experienced was shifting things around or stirring things up so that you could clearly see how that situation has impacted you, right? Which again is maybe why you were felt, or rather you were left feeling disappointed, or were left feeling some sort of loss or grief, some sort of bereavement, some sort of regret, something along those lines. And the Five is about change. It's about conflict. It's about instability. Certainly it can be about movement and fluctuation as well, but I feel all of those key words apply to your situation. Okay. Certain conflicts or instabilities were created to perpetuate change. Okay. You also have here Thoth light codes, light initiation, great teacher awakening, and divine magic. Again, I'm going to sound repetitive, but this was a teaching moment for you. It was meant to bring things to your attention so that you learned from them. I also feel as though something that's drawing my attention is this energy of divine magic. And I feel like, how do I say this? I feel like you have more power than maybe what you've given yourself credit for. I feel like you are more, how do I say this, impactful in others' lives than maybe what you think you are. That may not be something that you have easily recognized, or maybe that you even recognize yet. But I feel, again, like this was meant to be stirring something within you, because you do have an impact on people's lives, and you do influence their lives in certain ways, right? So here's the thing. I feel like this is kind of like a double-sided coin, if you will, coming back to this great teacher awakening. I feel like these things were meant to teach you something. I feel like they were meant to help to grow you, to evolve you. And I feel as though in some cases, you being put in that situation is also teaching other people, okay? Because you may have found yourself in a certain space where you're like, I'm not dealing with this. I am not subjecting myself to this kind of experience, or to this relationship, or to creating more let's say upheaval, or things that are like toxic to you, and thereby I feel, you kind of taking that stance is potentially teaching other people as well. Okay, so here's the thing. This is one of those kind of, yes, thank you. I'm seeing it as like dominoes, right? You're experiencing something for your good, okay, for your growth and evolution, and you making the choices to address those things has, then created that domino effect, because what you are experiencing is also influencing others. All right. And I just got the word truths. So for some of you, you may have you may have had some realizations, and those again could have been things that maybe created some disappointment within you. All right. Let's see, what else do we have here? Trust. You have a strong connection to your soul's loving voice and have faith in your intuition. So, oh, yeah, for some of you, I feel like these things that came up last month, for some of you, I feel like you kind of saw it coming. Which is also, I mean, which, that can create some disappointment within ourselves, because it's like, I knew better. I should have trusted myself, type of thing, right? Yeah, for some of you, I feel like you really wanted to believe that certain situations would unfold in a certain way, but I feel as though, that's where part of this disappointment is coming from, because again, I feel like you were getting certain nudges, or your intuition was speaking to you about certain situations or certain things, or maybe your role in certain situations or certain things, and maybe you didn't listen to that, right? Maybe you were clinging to hope, right? That things would be different. Maybe, I don't know what it is, you guys, but I just really feel like this situation has also maybe shown you that it's important for you to trust your soul. It's important for you to trust your intuition and to have faith in that, and to allow it to guide you and lead you, because it is trying. Those nudges are trying to, in some sense, save you from these experiences where things seem to just fall apart, or where you ultimately find yourself disappointed, or at a loss, right? So again, I feel like the overall energy last month was happening for you, and it was meant to teach you something. Okay, especially in regards to trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting your inner voice, trusting divine truth, trusting that wisdom that you carry as a physical embodiment of the cosmos, right? You have that, you have access to that intelligence within you. So again, I feel that this is something that was brought forward in the hopes that you would kind of catch on. Okay. You also have individuality. I love this. You leave your unique stamp of love on everything you do. So for those of you who maybe are unaware, according to anthroposophy and Rudolf Steiner's work, we are in a current, and this may not solely be Rudolf Steiner's work, but it's where I learned it from. So according to his work, we are in this space of initiation as a collective, where we are meant to be evolving our capital I, or our individuality, which means we are breaking free from, the programming. We're breaking free from, kind of conforming to what society believes we should be doing, or has told us we should be doing. We're meant to be embracing our individual truth, and to be growing through that by, how do I say, developing our capital I, while also developing and connecting deeply to the Christ impulse within. Again, this is according to Rudolf Steiner's work. Maybe you want to research that yourself. Please do if you feel called to. It did make a lot of things make sense in my own experience, but I feel as though, a big part of the reason why I brought that up and why I felt called to do that is because this individuality card showing up for you in the overall energy, I feel, right? We have the crumbling with what are you clinging to? And I feel like it was meant to again, show you a different way. I feel like it was meant to create these foundational shifts so that you are not just conforming for the sake of conforming, or you're not adhering to programming because it's what you believe you should be doing. And I want to lovingly say, like, I'm not passing any kind of judgment or anything. We've all been subjected to certain programming and things that we may have clung to for far too long. We may have adhered to for far too long. And we did take on or bought and sold as our own beliefs, even though they were beliefs that were passed down to us or taught to us. But that doesn't mean that they're right for us. That doesn't mean that they're right for our growth. That doesn't mean that they're right for our evolution. Okay, so, again, maybe this is where that hope and trust and clinging was coming to, where you were trying or hoping to see things differently, or for things to unfold differently, right? But again, I feel like the overall energy was bringing forth this individuality in order to create, like I said, that movement or fluctuation, foundational shifts around the fact that you are an individual soul. And here's the thing, Capricorn, you have to live with you for the rest of your life. No other person, no other situation, whatever animal, whatever you insert here, no other person or thing has to do that but you. And so it's incredibly important for you to be aligning with the things that are going to bring peace, happiness, fulfillment, joy, growth, evolution into your experience. 22 on the clock. You may want to look that number up, but twos are about balance. They're about choices, right? So, I feel this has been an opportunity for you. What came through in October was trying to position you in such a way that you could make the changes necessary in order to lead you to that more peaceful, serene way of being. Okay? So let's take a look at what came to an end for you last month or in October. Yep, I felt it. You have unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Like I said, you may have been experiencing certain things cyclically, right? Over and over and over. And like, oh my gosh, why are we here again? Right? And I feel like, again, these things were coming to the forefront so that you could move past them, so you could put a stop to that repetitive cycle, so you could see things for what they are, or at the very least, see your role in those things. Okay. So I do feel like what came to an end for you, how do I say it? No. Okay. So for some of you, you may have been able to do this. You may have seen things, like I said, for what they are, stepped into your individuality, trusted your intuition and your soul, and was like, nope, we're not doing this. We're not. We are not doing this anymore. I'm over it. I'm done. Right? Some of you may still be struggling with this a bit, which, again, no judgment, right? We all develop at our own pace. We all have to come to realizations on our own, in our own time, and when it's right for us, when we're able to, let's say, tolerate those things, to comprehend them. But I do feel, for some of you, it really was bringing to the forefront this repetitive cycle. And I feel like there are those of you listening who would resonate with, I'm over it. I'm over it. I don't want to do this anymore. Okay? Even if you've only had this conversation with yourself. And like I was saying before, this could have something to do with relationships with other people. And the reason I feel that is because there are these three beings on the card here, and you can see these two are still tethered, while this individual has set themselves free or liberated themselves. Threes are about groups, which is again why I feel as though for some of you this could have something to do with other people. You may have like, you know, separated yourself from other people, cut those cords as it were, and have found yourself moving forward. Or at the very least, you may be in a space where you are really analyzing where you're at and where you want to be, and whether or not certain situations or people are meant to be moving with you. Okay. You have here as well, oh yeah, look at this. You have strength. Interestingly, this is the energy of Leo. And so for some of you, you could be dealing with a Leo, but or have Leo in your chart or something like that. But more specifically, I feel as though what has come to an end is that lack of courage, that lack of inner strength, that lack of conviction in yourself. What's important, I feel, about this strength card is that, how do I say this? Yes, thank you. That this Leo energy is very generous. Okay, it's very generous and very protective. And I feel as though for some of you, there is this energy of like, I'm not going to just keep dumping into this situation, right? I'm not going to keep giving my energy to this situation. It is time for me to protect myself. Okay. So, you know, and I want to lovingly say, like, this is a very difficult position to be in. I and many others who have embarked on a more spiritual or, you know, growth healing type of journey have found themselves in a situation where they have had to make these really tough calls. And in some cases, you guys, it's not even that this person is bad or that you don't love them or care for them or want what's best for them. It is simply that it is toxic to you, right? Allowing that continued exchange of energy or, you know, time, love, like what, I don't want to say love because I feel like love should be given freely, but just continuing to dump into something I feel, you know, isn't serving you. And sometimes again, we have to kind of dig down into ourselves and be very brave and courageous and make calls that are best for us as individuals. Okay. And this isn't about, again, you know, just to really drive this home, this isn't about being tactless or mean. This is about, you know, this, how do I say, your typical tarot, the strength card has this woman with her hands in the mouth of the lion. And, you know, so it's this like, it's this, it's a less like brute strength. Okay. And more of this inner strength, this, what is the word? Oh my gosh. I really wish, it's like escaping me right now. Yes, thank you. It's more of this kind of soft control. Okay. Or soft strength, if you will. All right. Oh yeah, we also have here the Queen of Swords. And here's the thing, you guys, I want to say this so lovingly. It's making me laugh, especially based on what I just said. Because here's the thing. The Queen of Swords isn't really known for being kind of like delicate, if you will. She's very straightforward. Okay? Very to the point. Which funny enough is kind of like Capricornish. At least in my experience. I'm a Capricorn rising, and I do know several Capricorns. But you know, it's more of this like, here, this is what it is, right? Because the Queen of Swords is very honest, and again is very just kind of, here's what it is. And some may see that as being insensitive. Some may see that as being a bit savage or careless or something along those lines. But it's just a matter of not being able, some others may not be able to handle that straightforwardness, that, you know, transparency, that this is what it is. You know, but again, I feel like the days of kind of pretending, if you will, that things aren't what they are, or the days of like not being straightforward and honest and really just getting to the point are kind of over. That's really how I'm picking this up, because it feels very much like, listen, I have done this over and over and over again, and I'm not gonna keep doing this, right? I feel like there's a certain level of honesty that has come, you know, forward, where it's not just being honest with others, but also being very honest with yourself, right? Based on what you've experienced. Again, with this soul patterns, contracts, and past lives, and releasing that cyclic kind of, or freeing yourself or liberating yourself from that, you know, there comes a certain level of honesty, like this is what it is. Like, I'm over it now. Okay. Um, so, you know, I feel like it's kind of pushing aside more of that pessimistic, fearful kind of energy, bringing that to an end and just getting straight to the point. You know, I kind of feel like you've found your courage, okay? Your courage to be very honest, your courage to be very straightforward, and to not hide what's really going on in that mind of yours, what you really feel, and how you've experienced certain things. Okay. What else do we have here? Ooh, we have the Six of Swords. So let's move this over here so we can make some room. With the Six of Swords, here's the thing, sweets. This is moving forward. This is leaving things behind. And again, I feel like this is what's come to an end. It's like, I'm not just going to stay in the same place. Okay? Like, I am braving the waters, braving the sea, as it were, and I'm moving on, moving forward. Not, right? This is blowing my mind. You know, I feel like what's come to an end is this, how do I say this? It's almost like what's come to an end is carrying around this baggage. And I know that probably goes without saying, of course, but it feels as though, you know, there's been this like emotional baggage that's been carried around, and, you know, maybe you felt some kind of responsibility, or I don't know what it is, you know, whatever, for whatever reason you were like clinging to hope, um, you know, clinging to maybe things will get better, or maybe things will go right this time, or whatever the story. You know, I feel like you were kind of carrying that along, and have now, again, you know, it's come to an end. It's like, I'm not going to keep doing this to myself. I'm not going to keep like creating more baggage for myself by subjecting to myself to the same stuff over and over again. You know, it feels very much like, you know, no longer resisting transition. It feels like I'm no longer going to ignore or deny what is staring me right in the face. Right? You also have here the Two of Wands. So, you know, if you guys, you really cannot make this stuff up. Okay? So again, you know, what's come to an end here is this whole kind of, how would I say this? This whole kind of like playing it safe type of energy, this whole kind of fear of change energy, this whole making decisions that are not in alignment with your personal power, right? Like I feel like that's what's come to an end. You know, I feel like you're moving on from this like sitting on the sidelines of your own life and just letting stuff run amok. I just really feel that for some of you, you may resonate with like feeling like you're standing still and stuff is just swirling around you and you don't know where to look, where to focus. You know, it feels like standing in the middle of a storm and not really knowing what the hell to do. And I feel like you may have come to a point where you're like, I am so over this, right? I'm so over this. And so, I feel like you have made the decision to let that go. And it's taken a lot of courage. It's taken a lot of truth and honesty. It's taken a lot of reflection. It's taken a lot of experience for you to kind of, I'm going to be quite honest, to just kind of get fed up. I think that's probably the best way I can put that. Let me know in the comments if you resonate with that. We have, yes, come on now. We have Gaia Gateway activation, learning experiences, wisdom transmission, earth intelligence. Again, coming back to this great teacher awakening and, the opportunity that you had to learn some really big lessons. I feel like this has come to an end. I feel like, again, I was tapping into experience with the Queen of Swords. And here's the thing. I feel like what's come to an end is you've learned the freaking lesson. For those of you who resonate with this, you've learned the lesson. You're much wiser now. Okay? And however you move forward with what you've learned here is now your responsibility. What do I mean by that? I mean, like, once you see the truth, if you keep acting and moving in the same way that you have, you cannot blame anyone else when you get the same results. You know better now, right? There's this call for you to, like, again, some of you may have found yourself in a position last month where you're like, I should have trusted myself. Okay. So, I feel like the days of you, and I say this with so much love, but the days of you kind of pushing that responsibility onto other people or other situations has come to an end. It's like you can't unsee or you can't unknow what you now know. And it is up to you to move accordingly. Okay? You now have the experience. You now have the wisdom. You have seen it and experienced it with your own eyes, like in the physical world. In situations, like things that you can put certain situations to, like you can put this to certain situations. I hope that makes sense. You also have here gratitude. You fully appreciate the invaluable lessons, there's that word again, that life lovingly presents to you. And again, what has come to an end is I really feel like what's come to an end is, like, again, being grateful because you've learned now, right? Like, I should have trusted myself. I should have followed my gut. I should have trusted my intuition. I knew better, right? So I feel like there's this energy now of gratitude. So, not really being grateful or thankful or appreciating the things that have been shown to you. I feel like that has come to an end because I feel as though you've learned the lesson now. I know I'm going to sound repetitive, but it's really being driven home here. I think that spirit, God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, is really pushing or driving home this concept of you know better now. Okay? You also have respect. You value everyone's unique perspective on the path to love. Here's the thing. I feel like this respect energy is coming from a place. So I do have some fear coming up. But I feel like this energy of respect is coming from a place where it feels more like self-respect. I know what the card says, but intuitively, it feels more along the lines of this self-respect. Like, not only do others deserve your respect, or I shouldn't say deserve, but not only should you be giving your respect to others, but others should be exchanging that, should be showing that to you as well. And so, it kind of feels like putting yourself at the front of the line, if you will, and kind of demanding respect from other people, because I feel like there's some part of you that has tried to be a bit more open, if you will, maybe you've tried to be a bit optimistic, and tried to give respect to others, even if maybe they didn't necessarily earn that. But I feel as though there's this new perspective that's come in for some of you where you're like, okay, I actually deserve that respect too. Like, why can I not have that same respect that I give to others? But I want to lovingly say to you, Capricorn, that you first must give that to yourself before it is mirrored back to you. So I am going to read from the guidebook for you here. I just feel like there could be a message for you here that could add some more to what we've been talking about. So give me just a second to find this. All right. Again, we're looking at what has come to an end. So it says, it's important for you to remember that everyone in this physical dimension has their own journey, filled with struggles and obstacles that are different from yours. They chose their life blueprint just as you chose yours. It is not your job to judge how they discover their way to love. Rather, it is your job to encourage them. By showing respect, you earn respect. When someone comes into your space, they are immediately aware of your level of integrity and your willingness to help others. You carry yourself with a certain natural strength, and people look up to you. When you receive admiration, you may become a role model, and you have the responsibility of setting an example. As a role model, you must demonstrate love in all situations and a sense of compassion in every interaction. There is no greater way to gain respect than to accept others as equals, as fellow soul travelers. So I do want to say that this rings very true based on my own experiences. However, that does not mean that you just lay down and take nonsense. Okay? That does not mean that you just lay down and take disrespect repeatedly because you're trying to be compassionate and loving. You can love someone and still have boundaries. You can love someone and be compassionate to them and caring for them and still have these boundaries and have these standards, if you will, where you are acknowledging your own worthiness. Okay? The fact that you too are someone who deserves to be respected, who deserves compassion, who deserves that same understanding. Okay? So, it's important to create these boundaries. And if you are someone that has other people looking up to you, it's that much more important, right? So if you have children or, if you're a mentor of some kind, it's important for you to draw boundaries, right? That is also motivation or inspiration, or shows others that it's okay to do the same. Because we have lived in a society where we have been expected and programmed to, how would I say? A good example of this would be like something I learned, which is like family is everything, right? You sacrifice everything for your family. And to be quite honest, that is not how this works. And family does not have to be your blood. Okay? So what has been reborn, renewed, or has begun for you in October 2023? You do have here inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Yes, all of these things that have taken place, Capricorn, have been for this purpose. To stir that connection you have with yourself, to strengthen that. Okay, to encourage you to tune into the portal of your heart, to be devoted to what you feel in your heart is best for you. What you feel is best for your situation, your experience, your growth, your evolution. And to not feel some type of way about that. Right? To not feel guilty for that. To not feel ashamed for, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just really feel that that is something that has been stirred within you. And it has been that way to bring balance, because I feel like there's been a severe in some cases, imbalance. Okay, where you have perhaps created or subjected yourself to suffering because the exchange taking place between you and someone else, or you in a certain situation, was not balanced. Okay, where you were putting yourself beneath someone, considering yourself last, something like this, being very devoted to someone else or someone else's experience, right? Like giving way too much and not giving back to yourself, not filling your own cup. Okay, so again, I feel like what has been renewed, rebirthed, or has began for you is the stirring of this. The whole concept of putting yourself first or making yourself a priority. Okay, I feel like this situation is meant to, I don't know if you can hear that. I apologize if that's distracting, but everything happens for a reason. And if you can hear that engine revving up outside, I feel like this has really come to the forefront. So you kind of put your foot on the gas with making yourself a priority. So you jump to the front of the line. Okay. We also have here for you 7 of Pentacles. So yeah, I mean, really, I feel again, there is this energy of what has again been reborn, renewed, or started for you with the 7 of Pentacles. Is this energy of changing direction, doing things differently? How would I say this? Putting in, or no, let me back up. Being diligent about, again, what you are giving your time, your energy, your attention to. Okay. And I also feel like, there are things that are trying to grow here beneath the surface. I'm being intuitively drawn to the picture here. I feel like there are things that are trying to grow beneath the surface, but it takes your nurturing, right? It takes you giving attention to those, or being devoted to that growth, which is another thing that I feel has kind of started for you, or maybe, been, what is the word I'm looking for? Has tried to kind of be integrated or implemented for you. And I feel like it's really about assessing what are the things that are in alignment with what your heart is speaking to you. Okay. And this can be something, as simple as, I deserve respect, I deserve compassion, I deserve, to give to myself, these sorts of things. We could talk about this for hours. But I really feel like this is something that's been stirred within you, or started for you, is again to really change the way you've looked at things, to change directions and how you move in the physical world, and to move away from things that again are not in alignment with what you feel in your heart, what you know in your heart is right for you. And I also feel to assess, again, to kind of do that deep dive, right? Like, what is not working? With the 7 of Pentacles here, I also want to just say that I feel like there's a certain element for some of you, not everyone will resonate with this, but for some of you, where your faith has been put to the test. Where, how do I say this? And this, I don't feel like, for some of you, this may be like faith in God or source or whatever you want to call it, but I feel like this is also your faith in yourself, right? And for some of you, I feel like you have now learned that if you put faith in yourself and you nurture that, what you know within, you could find yourself being rewarded, right? You could find things growing and working in your favor. Now, that may not look the way you think it will, but that doesn't mean that it isn't a reward. Okay. We also have here for you memories of Atlantis, spiritual acceleration, progress, technology. So again, I feel like this is created movement for you. I know I'm going to sound repetitive. I'm perfectly okay with that, right? Because I feel like spirit is just driving this message home, is really trying to, like, for lack of better terms, like burn this into your consciousness. Like, hey, this is what is happening. This is meant for you to progress, to grow, to move forward, right? Because I feel like, again, you may relate or resonate with being kind of stuck in a cycle, experiencing the same things over and over and over, or the same thing over and over and over. And I feel as though, this has all unfolded in the way that it has throughout the month of October and perhaps even into November, where it is meant to be moving you. Okay, where you are meant to be making changes, where you're meant to be making progress. And again, this comes back or brings me back to this energy here with the Six of Swords, Two of Wands. Two of Wands energy is like, I'm sitting behind this window and I'm not doing anything. I want to be out in the world. I want to be experiencing different things, but I'm just sitting here. Right? I'm afraid of getting uncomfortable. I'm afraid of going out into the world. What if it doesn't work? What if I'm alone? What if, like, all of those sorts of things, right? And the Six of Swords is like, I'm moving forward. I am not resisting the changes that are coming before me anymore. Okay? So, again, I feel like the Spirit's really trying to drive this home. Like, this has all taken place for you to start making progress, to walk through a new door, to cross a threshold. Okay, to start climbing the mountain, as it were. You also have here star gathering, stars aligned, remembering home, and soul family. For those of you who saw this, how do I no? Let me back up. I feel like there's this energy with this star gathering, remembering home, where you've been put in a position to renew or rebirth or remember home, but home being your soul, home being your truth, home being you, right? Like, I feel like you've been put in a position to remember who the F you are, because I feel like somewhere along the way, you may have gotten wrapped up in certain things, certain situations, whatever this is for you. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's a relationship. And I'm saying job because I've talked about relationships and maybe groups or other people in this experience. This could have something to do with your workplace, right? I know Capricorns are very, very driven and have, this incredibly high work ethic. But whatever it is that has pulled you away from your true self, your soul, like, I really feel like some of you may have, like, felt like you're not even in your own body. Like, if someone were to say, what would make you happy? You might be like, I don't know. Or, if you did, it would be like one of those things where you, like, would struggle to come up with things because you have not put yourself first. You have not given to yourself. You have not considered yourself. And so, I feel like this whole remembering home thing is really about you remembering who you are, like, at a soul level, at your soul's true essence. Because for me, from my perspective, I feel like home is where your soul is. Okay? Home is where your heart is. And it's within you on this planet right now. Okay? So I feel like this is how I'm perceiving this. In addition, here we have soul family. And so, I'm going to come back to the fact that, family doesn't mean blood. And I think some of you are kind of awakening to this. Some of you are coming to some kind of understanding about this, where, sometimes family, we have to walk away from those individuals because they are not what's good for us. And I'm sorry, you know, to be just so straightforward about it, but it really is the truth. You know, if you're someone who is lucky enough to have a beautiful family connection where you feel supported and loved and cherished and nurtured, you know, that's absolutely amazing. Okay. But not everybody has that. And I think this is something that is really being brought to the forefront to show us this does not work. All right. I don't know why, but for some of you, you may have a connection to the color purple. Okay. I don't know why this is coming through. It's very weird for me right now, but or a bit odd or whatever, but for someone, the color purple may be important. And if that is you, I feel like there's definitely something here for you. Okay? And this or this may have something to do with your third eye. Okay? Which is, of course, when that third eye is blocked, that can be very much about delusion. I am getting some fear as well. That can be about self-sabotage. It can be about, you know, having this lack of clarity or lack of direction if it's blocked or imbalanced. The third eye does represent your intuition or foresight and being driven by openness. Okay, being receptive to those things, which certainly has come through here. So take it as it resonates. Finally, beautiful. We have transformation. You use the power of love to move through illusions. What did I just say? Holy freaking crap. And shift into awareness. So again, this has got the ball rolling, I feel. Okay. I feel like this has really put you in a position where you can gain some clarity. Okay. Where you can step into a certain level of awareness where you are being more intentional about making yourself a priority by acknowledging what it is you want or what it is you need and how you need to move for you or for your family, right? Like for some of you, how do I say this, you guys? It's a very kind of hard pill to swallow, right? Because we are responsible solely for our own evolution. That's it. No one else is. Even if you have children, even if you have, you know, other people who you are responsible for on like a physical or earthly kind of sense, we as individuals are responsible for our own evolution, our own transformation, and no one else. No one else. Okay? We're not responsible for anyone else, and they're not responsible for us. And I feel as though, again, there's been this focus or this highlight on addressing that for your own, for yourself, right? Really, again, really driving that home. Like, you guys, so here's the thing. Spirit source, the angels, your ancestors, these exalted or beings, higher, if you will, in the spiritual hierarchies, are not going to force you to do anything ever. Okay. But the way that this energy is coming through is almost like, please get this, please get this, please get this. Do you get it yet? Do you get it yet? Let's keep pushing. Let's keep encouraging. Let's keep showing them, like, turn on the neon signs and the flashing lights. Do you get it? Please get it. Okay. So again, it's not like a forcing kind of energy, but it is very much, like a little pushy, if you will. It's like, hello, we're like, can you see us yet? We're doing all the things to try to show you. Okay. But certainly, you know, your transformation has begun. And again, I feel like this is about putting some of your wants, needs, desires, you know, the things that will make you happy and joyful and really ignite this life within you. You know, I feel like this is what has started for you. This is the transformation that I feel like is taking place. Okay. So let's take a look at the wisdom that will best support your healing growth and evolution based on everything that's come through for you last month. We do have, yes, beautiful, birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So here's the thing, dear friends. You know, for those of you who are parents, you will understand what I'm saying here, or more specifically, those of you who are mothers. Birth is painful. Okay? Birthing something into the world, birthing a human being into the world is painful. And we can kind of better understand being reborn ourselves when we consider that. Because in order to be reborn, we have to go through that pain. There is potential in pain. I mean, let's again, if I look at, or rather, if we look at this from the perspective of a mother bringing life into the world, there is potential in that pain that the mother experiences through the life of that child. Okay. Similarly, there is potential in you, for you, going through the pain to bring something new forward. Okay, going through the pain of release, going through the pain of truth, so I feel as though the wisdom that is going to best support your healing, growth, and evolution based on everything that's come through here is to allow yourself to move through whatever you need to, even if it causes pain, even if it brings about fear, discomfort, in order to experience something new for yourself. And for some of you, I feel like the more you work on this, the more intentional you are about it, the world is going to start to look a lot different. I just looked up a moment ago. We were at an hour, 1 minute, 11 seconds. So 11:11. 11:11 is that number of epiphany. It is that number of spiritual awakening. It is the number of new beginning, opportunity, potential. And it is here for you. Right? So the wisdom is for you to open your arms and welcome that. I don't know if you can see her arms outstretched there. Of course, it's your choice. You can do what you want with this information that has come through for you, but this is the wisdom that is being brought forward to best support you. You do have the sun here in the reverse. And isn't it fascinating that the sun in the reverse is like the opposite of what this birthing a new age is? Okay. And I feel like the wisdom here for you is like, you can hold on to that negativity. You have that choice. Okay. You can choose to not see the good things in life. You can choose to take this loss, this disappointment, all of this energy we've been talking about, and you can sink into it. You can stay there. That is your choice. But I feel like the wisdom here for you is to let that shit go. Because all that it's going to do is how do I say? It is going to hinder your own happiness. It is going to hinder your healing. It is going to hinder your joy. It is going to rob you of those things. It's going to rob you of the pleasure in life. It is going to rob you of that dawn, if you will, after a dark night. Okay? It just, take that as it resonates with you. But it is coming through just like that. It is coming through like, you can choose to not welcome this in. You can choose to turn your back on yourself, and sink into that sadness, that negativity, that depression lingering on the past. But it will rob you of a new beginning. It will rob you of what you deserve. And I think that's, something that needs to be understood very clearly. Look at this. The sun again. Are you freaking kidding me? So yeah, the wisdom that will best support your growth and healing is to allow this abundance into your life. Open yourself up to that joy, that celebration, that happiness, that healing, that pleasure. The sun is the archetype of the inner child. Okay? And I feel as though, this is giving you an opportunity to really create more vitality, more spark, more purpose, more of an identity in your experience. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily you had a bad childhood. Some of you may have. Some of you may have for lack of better terms, been robbed of your childhood in some way or another. And I feel like there is a need to kind of delve back into that. It's almost like reparenting yourself, or allowing yourself to experience childhood, it doesn't matter what age you are, by establishing your own identity separate from whatever happened there. Okay, separate from, like, it just really feels like some of you never really were able to figure out who you are because you had something else going on. And so, I feel like with the sun showing up twice, from two different decks, I really feel as though there's this attention that's being drawn to that inner child where you are meant to be exploring what makes you happy, what is going to stir life within you. In your typical tarot, there is on the sun card this kid on the back of a horse that's like, look, mom, no hands. Having a good old time out in like a field of poppies or something. I don't know what it is, some kind of flower. The sun is shining, and there's this energy of like being very carefree, very lively, very excited, very enthusiastic, very kind of, what is the word I'm looking for? Like very sure of themselves, right? Like a child is. Okay, like nothing can touch me, nothing can hurt me, life is great type of energy. So, I definitely feel like this is something that's being brought to your attention because I feel like this is going to best support you, by acknowledging, again, what is going to make you happy, what is going to bring that feeling of abundance into your experience. I want to read from the guidebook for this card as well. I really feel like there could be something here for you. I am going to only read the message, not the interpretation. So give me just a second here. All right. So again, this is the wisdom that will best support your healing, growth, and evolution based on what came through for you in October. It says here, the great central sun is shining brightly in your life and upon your world. This is a time to regenerate. Tiredness and old energy are being washed away. Old skins have peeled off to reveal a sacred and more aligned you. This is an exciting time. Central sun energy is magnetic and all-powerful, opening you up to light and supporting you as you express your own light in this lifetime. New ideas, opportunities, and experiences come easily to you at this time. Like the sun kissing the perfectly ripe soil, the seeds you have planted are being encouraged to grow. Realize that in order to go beyond your horizon, it's important for you to welcome energetic exchanges. When you help others, you let yourself be helped in return. When you invest energy in projects, you let energy be invested in yourself. Right? So again, this is not permission to have people walk all over you, or to be subjected to toxicity or negativity or drama or disrespect. Okay? These exchanges, I would encourage for them to be ones where you are left feeling better or improved, if you will, than when you went into them. Okay? Even if it's just you feel more content, more at peace. Even if it's you just feel like, oh, that was a really nice conversation, or that was a really nice interaction, right? The people that you are having these exchanges with should be those kinds of people, those kinds of exchanges, those kinds of interactions, right? Where you are left feeling better than when you came into them. Finally, oh, we have two cards here. We have for you acceptance. Yes, 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 yes. You are ready to release control of situations or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life. Yes, Capricorn. Yes. I can feel you guys cringing I just want to say that. I can feel the cringe. Because here's the thing, right? Capricorn, you have this energy. And again, as a Capricorn rising, I can definitely relate to this where, Capricorn, you can tend to be very kind of persistent, to be very, which is not a bad thing. Okay. I just want to say that this is a judgment free zone. Okay. But you can, be very determined and very persistent, and releasing that control can stir a lot of fear. Okay. So I know why that cringe is there. But I feel like, that acceptance, releasing those situations or people, and embracing that life is taking you somewhere else is what will best support your healing, growth, and evolution. I'm actually being reminded, Capricorn, of the Devil card in the tarot. Actually, let me see if I can just find it in this deck real quick. Because in the tarot, that is your representation. And it's your representation because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is a planet of restriction. It is, a planet of structure, law, discipline, okay, obligation. And so in this Devil card, which hopefully I can find rather quickly, I think it gives a really good depiction of how that neat. Oh, look at that at the bottom. How about that? Is that the top or the top the whole time? So if you look here, the Devil here has this person on strings, almost like a puppet. So I know that releasing that can be very difficult, right? Because it's like, oh, if I give up control about this, if I surrender, if I just flow with life, I have no idea what the hell's going to happen. And I don't like not knowing, right? It is an energy of like, I don't like being in control, or rather, pardon me, I don't like not being in control, right? Or I don't like not knowing. I don't like having a plan. Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't like not having a plan. I don't like not having a strategy. I don't like just letting things go. Okay, so that's why I could feel that kind of cringy energy. And I understand, I get it, right? But again, this is what will best support your healing, growth, and evolution. And it is through those periods of discomfort, of uncertainty, of fear, of surrender that we often grow and evolve and heal the most, right? It's just how it is. I mean, if you need a really good example of this, look at the Bible. And I'm not saying this from a dogmatic religious perspective. I just mean, like, look at the Bible, look at the positions that individuals in the Bible were put in by God, and how they grew through those. Okay. So again, acceptance. You also have here peacefulness, beautiful. So there is a lot of green here as well, which green is connected, or is the color of healing. It is also connected to the heart chakra, which is very much about, opening your heart up, and it's about love, but not just of other people, of self as well. Okay. So peacefulness, you recognize that balance. There's that word again. Kindness and love bring calmness to your soul. Again, I feel like the wisdom here that is best going to support you, Capricorn, is seeking out those people, those situations, those experiences that create more peace in your life, that create love in your life, that create joy, that create pleasure, that create happiness, that cause you to want to celebrate being alive. Right? I feel like there's this message here of like, stay away from the things that are toxic, negative, like full of drama, that really kind of suck the life out of you, right? Stay away from the things that are going to disrupt your peace. Of course, we all experience things along our journey where we feel like our peace is interrupted, okay? So it's not to say like you can completely avoid that, but you do have you do have some sense of responsibility, right? If you are subjecting yourself to chaos, to situations you know are chaotic, to people you know are toxic or negative, to people or situations that just bring drama into your life, like, you are sabotaging your own peace. Okay? And that is something that you can avoid. That is something that you have control over, right? So, certainly, again, there are situations that we will find ourselves in which disrupt our peace a little bit, make us a bit uncomfortable, bring up some fear, those sorts of things, but we don't have to be subjected to that 24/7. Okay? We can choose to set boundaries and draw lines in the sand, around things that just do that all the time. Okay? So, Capricorn, I pray that something here has brought clarity or confirmation to you for what took place during the month of October 2023. I pray that this has encouraged you to keep growing, to keep healing, to keep evolving. And I pray that you do or have found the courage to release the things that aren't serving you so that you can make yourself a priority, so that you can fill your own cup, get to know yourself again, and really experience life the way you deserve to. If something has resonated for you, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, commenting below, or subscribing. It really does help the channel to grow, and I truly, truly appreciate it because it lets YouTube know that there may be something valuable here for someone else. In addition to that, I really do appreciate any feedback. It helps me to grow as a reader, and I'm very, 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 very grateful for that as well. Thank you so very much for being here. I appreciate your time, your energy, and your company. I hope you had an incredible October, and that your November is even better. Take care of your evolving, growing, worthy, strong, courageous, beautiful soul. Peace be with you and within you, and I hope to see you in November 2023's Tarotscope. Bye.